by the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan Drury, the voice of your Guelph Storm on Rogers TV. I'm very pleased to be joined by a guy that everybody in Storm Nation is very well familiar with now. He's known around these parts as the Jovo Cop, Zach Jovanovski. How are you, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing well. All right, the nickname. What do we think of it?
Um, it's a little out of my time, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's RoboCop's a little before your time. I think it came out a full maybe 30 years before you were born or something like that. But
Like
I'm
that.
telling you, I think it's a pretty good one because, goaltenders, you go about your business a little robotically. You've got all the mechanics down. I think it's pretty suitable.
Yeah, yeah. It's a way to look at that, but yeah, we'll see if it sticks. See what happens with it.
Maybe Mark and I will come up with something better. We'll work on something. Don't worry. All right. Well, how's the season going, man? I mean, like, look, you're in your second full OHL season. You're playing a ton. How are you feeling in the blue paint every night?
Feeling good, especially this year. Again, we have a younger group, so my goal is just to give the team a chance to win every night. I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job at that recently, but yeah, just play game after game and just keep playing and keep trying to win.
You're well over 2,100 minutes on ice now. I mean, you've taken on a huge workload here in your second year. Obviously, you had a great rookie season. You kind of burst onto the scene coming up from air, and everybody was really impressed with what you did out there. You come into this year, and again, you're just consistently getting rolled out into the crease every night by Corey Stillman and the coaching staff. What's it mean to you to be just in your second year? You're still a young goaltender in this league. What's it mean to you to have that kind of, consistency and confidence from not only your coaching staff, from your teammates as well, you rolling out there so often?
Obviously, it's a good feeling, but I had to work hard to be in the position I'm in. Like last year, I'd have a good season to kind of build to be the starter this year. But obviously, it helps having a solid core in front of me to help me out every night. So I got to give credit to them too.
How much like do you prefer like to be left alone? Because like goalies on game days, like you'll notice if I walk by you while you're in the tunnel there, and I don't even notice if you notice us going by you, I will not say anything to you. Like I'll say hi to the other guys when they're playing sewer ball. Not I just have a weird thing. I don't want to talk to the goalie. It's like a weird superstition thing. Is that something you prefer? Like, do you want everybody to kind of leave you alone and not say anything?
Let's say like before the game, I'm pretty loose. Like, I talk to the guys. I'm obviously I have my pregame routine and all that, but I'd say like I'm a pretty loose guy. I play through with the boys before the game, but once it's game time, then it's kind of just a different mentality. And guys, pretty quiet, keep things to myself during the game. But yeah, before the game, I'm pretty loose and talkative.
I know that, when the first time we had John, we talked, and I know that you're not like a super superstitious guy or anything like that, even though, the goalies can be a little strange at times. I wonder though, like how you developed your pregame routine. Like, were there guys you watched that you kind of picked some stuff up from? Did it just kind of come naturally to you? Like, how did you settle into your pregame setup?
Well, obviously, it takes a lot of games, and it's been years in the making for just a routine to kind of be set in stone. But it started like years ago. You start with one thing, and then you try something for one game, it works. You keep doing that, and you just keep adding stuff on your routine until it helps you play and it makes you ready mentally to go for the game. So yeah, it's taken years to get my full routine ready.
Your equipment, like I don't think that people talk an awful lot about the goalie equipment. Like we talk to guys all the time about their sticks, their skates, what they're doing. Like, are you super particular with the way you have your equipment? Is there a particular way you like it set up? Your pads, like, is there anything unique that you have to have for your setup?
Um, like I'm a like I like a gear. Like I'm a pretty big gear guy. Like I like what I like, and like this year I made the switch to all true gear, so that was different for me. A little different from Bauer. I went fully stiff too this year, so they're a pretty stiff pad, but it's completely different. But I'm really liking them this year.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and like they're starting to make some big time noise. Like they first burst on with the sticks, obviously, and I remember like Yager using them, and then Mitch Marner started to use them. A lot of guys use them now. The goalie equipment, they've only been in the goalie gear game for a couple years now. Give us your review. You're obviously having success with them. You must like it.
Yeah, I'm really liking them right now. They last a lot longer than Bowers, so that's a big thing for especially me and Ellsworth because we practice every day, play a lot of games, so that was a big part. And just the overall feel of them, they feel really good. And skates too, I switched to true skates as well, and nothing but good things to say about them.
Future endorsement deal, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's getting drafted this year. If anybody's listening, future endorsement, I don't know. I'm just saying. When
Oh.
you say they last longer, like when you're talking about goalie, like it's pretty clear for players when their equipment's spent, the skates are done, they're too worked in, your stick breaks. Like it's pretty obvious when a player is ready to let go of a piece of equipment. For a goaltender, what has to happen with your equipment when you know, okay, it's time to get something new?
Like especially for the glove, with like when the glove, like when the teeth starts breaking in, the palm gets all beat up, really soft. You're feeling pucks. Then for the pads, they get really like spongy, not really stiff at all, just cut up. Like the Bowers especially get beat up really quickly. So I was always in Bowers before this year, was my first year with True. So that was the big thing I noticed. They just last longer.
It's working out for you, man. And like I said, you've already played a ton of minutes. Like you've soared past your career high in not only games played but minutes on ice. You've got fantastic numbers, and obviously, as I mentioned just now, it's your draft year. Was there any kind of difference in the way you approached the summer, knowing you were coming into your draft year, or was it just kind of business as usual for you?
Obviously business as usual, but I also had to know that it's a big year and I had to prepare for it. So spent a lot of hours in the gym, a lot of time on ice, and had to put in some extra work as well to make sure I was ready to go for this year, as it's a pretty big year for me.
Obviously it is, and like look, I know that the cliche thing to say when you talk to players about this stuff is I don't pay attention to this stuff, I don't read the lists. You're ranked pretty high, man. I mean, you're the top rated OHL goaltending prospect on Central Scouting's list. You're ranked 10th among North American goaltenders. Like you're in some pretty heady company, man. Like that's a really high ranking for you. Like do you see that and feel proud of that, or do you see it and just kind of go, ah, whatever, I'll worry about it in June?
Well, obviously it's nice to see that people are looking at me and liking my play, but there's always room to grow, always room to get better, and I can always climb up that list too. So just keep working and work my way up and see what happens in June.
That's a competitor right there. That's a competitive answer. I like that. And speaking of, and I'm sure that this probably helped potentially maybe bump you up some teams' lists. You got to play in the Connor McDavid top prospects game this year, and you had a fantastic outing. You and your other two teammates, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, had a great showing there in Lane Gallagher and, of course, Ryland Singh, who both had good nights. What did it mean to you, A, not only to play in that game, because that's a high profile game, it's no joke getting invited to that thing. A, play in it, and B, be there with your teammates, and all three of you have a great night.
Yeah, that's what made it really special. It was obviously just great being there with the guys, but it was a special night for all three of us performing well and all had good things to say about it as well. But yeah, it was just an awesome experience for us.
Let's talk about some recency bias here. We're chatting with you on Tuesday, February 10th. This is going to air this Thursday. You're coming off a game in Niagara. You were spectacular. You had the highlight save of the night as well. Walk me through that performance because, you know, everybody looks at that video clip and sees the standout save and everything. Walk me through how you're feeling through that evening because that's a tough place to go in and play. And you guys came out with one of your best games of the season, you included.
Yeah, especially Niagara's rink. It's tough going in there to play, especially in a weekday game. But tough in the first. Got into a little penalty trouble, but keep a minute there. I think we came out winning in the first. So our goal is just to keep the lead throughout, and we did a pretty good job at that throughout the game. But yeah, personally, I felt pretty good. Yeah, we found a way to get the win, which we really needed to stay ahead of the Owens on attack.
Obviously, you know, you guys are marching toward hopefully a playoff spot. I know everybody was disappointed with the way things went last year, of course, missing the playoffs. How critical, how badly, just obviously from a team perspective, but from yourself, I know you're such a competitive guy. You're a quiet kid, like you're a fun guy to talk to, but when you get in the crease, like you look like you got nerves of steel. How hungry are you in particular to get into OHL playoff action and show what you can do?
I'm really looking forward to it. Just wherever we finish, I'm just excited to hopefully be a part of the playoffs this year, as we missed them last year. It's pretty disappointing. But yeah, I think most of the guys are just eager to kind of feel what playoff hockey's like, because not many of the guys have played in the playoffs before on our team. So we're just all excited. Like I said, we're a young core. So yeah, we'll see what happens when playoffs come, but I'm looking forward to it.
In terms of the division, like you guys play in, I mean, I would say for my money, I think it's the toughest division historically, at least over the last 10 years. You can make a certain argument that this is the toughest division in the Ontario Hockey League. How much does that benefit you guys having to play London all the time, Kitchener all the time, Erie? I mean, yes, they're having a down year this year, but historically, they've been a really tough team. Owen Sound, we all know what that rivalry's like.
Yeah.
Like, that's a tough four pack to consistently play throughout the year. How much do you think that helps you guys though in terms of development?
Obviously, obviously really good teams like you were saying, but for development wise, obviously it helps us playing tough teams so often. Like you're saying, Kitchener, London, obviously the top teams in the league again this year. Going into their ranks, it's tough to play, but this year we found a way to beat Kitchener and London this year, so hopefully we can keep that going throughout February. But yeah, it's nice having some good competitive games in our own division.
Speaking of competitive games, I mean, a lot of those end up on home ice. And again, the Guelph fan base has just turned out in droves to watch you guys this year. I think the intensity will pick up a little bit next year, if that's even possible. But obviously, when you're a goaltender and you're able to have that kind of home crowd environment behind you, just tell us what that's like being able to play at the Sleeman Center. And like you in particular, when you make a big save, like we can feel it up in the booth. Like the crowd pops. They love their goalies in Guelph. What's that like for you feeling that support?
Obviously, it's a great feeling knowing you have 4,800 people on your side. Yeah, it just gets really loud in there. It's obviously really fun to play, and yeah, the fans really like playing or watching us play, and obviously the guys love having that type of fan base every night.
So I just referenced it, obviously. Let's just talk about it. Next year, I mean, you guys found out in November that the Memorial Cup is coming to town. I mean, for a goaltender and a kid, like we've already touched on, you're a competitive guy. You want the big stage. You want to show off what you can do. Junior hockey, I mean, there's no bigger stage outside of international competition. You know, when you're not talking about the World Juniors, the Memorial Cup is the biggest stage that this level of hockey can offer you. When you found out that the Memorial Cup was coming to town, what'd that do inside to the internal engine? Like, I'm sure that that added some gasoline to it.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, you're saying it's the biggest kind of tournament around and biggest stage for us to show off what we can do. Yeah, I think our whole team's excited to be there next year. Obviously, there's going to be some big changes coming up in the off season. But yeah, everyone's obviously really excited for it, and me especially. I'm looking forward to showing what I got at the Memorial Cup next year.
I want to ask you from a goaltending perspective because you guys and people have talked for years about how this is why, you know, a lot of goaltenders make good coaches someday because you guys see the game from a completely different type of perspective. I want to talk to you about a guy on your team that played a bunch of defense this year, and that's Will McFadden. Like for yourself watching him and like you play him in practice every day, you have to watch the mitts and everything. He's a silky kid. Like he could do some fun stuff with the puck out there. All of a sudden he plays defense. What did you see out there from him? Because we were blown away by how well he was able to play defense.
Yeah, obviously he's a two-way player. He can play on any side of the ice, as he's already shown. Yeah, I'm comfortable with him on the back end. Like, I have no issues with him out there. He's a great defenseman. It's kind of surprising as you can just play both positions and do just fine. But yeah, it's great seeing him put up points as a defenseman as well too. I'm sure he put up like 6 points in 2 or 3 games, the one stretch, and yeah, he's been doing really well on both ends of the ice.
If we were to strap some player skates on you and have you play an out position, where do you think you could excel?
I don't know, play defenseman. I love playing out. Like we have a rink at the Billet House here, so I go out there all the time and shoot pucks. And yeah, I love just skating around, player skates, shooting pucks, pond hockey.
What's the shot like? Like, you know, do you surprise some people with the heat on it? Like, what are the hands like?
Yeah, I think I have a pretty good shot for a goalie, especially in the summer when I was younger. That's all I do is go outside and shoot pucks. So yeah, it's kind of built on over the years, and especially here, I go outside and shoot a lot. So. Man's got a pretty good shot.
I want to ask you, and I mean, there's some guys that can bring the heat on your team. I think of guys like Grant Spada and Quinn Beauchene. And if we had a hardest shot competition, where do you think you would rank?
I honestly think middle of the pack, like it's a pretty good shot.
Who would your shot be harder than? Bury some of your teammates here. Who's your shot harder than?
Mark Pape. Mark Pape.
You're picking on the rookie, eh?
Mark
Okay,
Pape.
I
You're gonna
I
have to. Have
understand.
to.
Okay, so you if you stepped up to the line and leaned into one, the gun is reading a little heavier for you than paper.
I'd say so, yeah. Huh.
Okay. I ask the guys all the time too, like I know that, since obviously Charlie Paquette left, I'm sure that there's been a void in this euchre tournament that's ongoing throughout the year. Are you participating in this on the bus? Are you one of the card sharks back there?
No, I'm not part of that group. It's more or less
Okay.
Sterling and Miedema that run that. But yeah, I'm usually a movie guy on the bus, music.
Okay. Well, I first I want to ask you: are either of those guys, Miedema and Serlin, that are kind of in charge of this thing now, are either of them any good at the game?
I think so. They're back there for hours playing, so I'd hope they'd pick up something throughout the bus ride.
Okay. And secondly, if you're kind of movie and music guy, like what's in your rotation? Are there any movies that you like to watch that either chill you out or pump you up? Maybe.
A big movie for me is Grown Ups too. I can watch it 1,000 times and love it
Okay.
every time. That's my favorite movie, and I always watch it. But yeah, for show wise, I've been watching The Rookie recently.
Okay. What do you think of that? That's a pretty good show.
I really like it. I like those cop shows and kind of yeah, it's a good show to watch for me, and it's my type of show. So yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, that makes sense. You are the Jovo cop, so
Yeah,
like, why not mix a couple cop shows in there? Why not? I'll tell
exactly.
you what. On a road trip, throw on the original RoboCop. It's a
Yeah,
little dated. Like,
love
don't expect amazing CGI or anything, but the first one holds up. Pretty good movie.
really.
Yeah, it's not bad. Would that come out 81 or something like that? It's a little dated. You might have to put up with some cringy moments, but it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. I want to ask you too. Obviously, you guys are in the midst of a lengthy road trip. Like, how fun is that in the OHL to be on the road with the guys? I mean, you mix in some of the weekday games. It's a bit of a different vibe than the weekend, but traveling around with the guys, like, it's probably some of the funnest times that you have as a junior hockey player.
Yeah, obviously it's really fun just being with the guys all the time, and especially road trips. It's where you build chemistry and also bonds between all the guys. And especially the school day game in Erie, that was a really fun one. Staying overnight, waking up early for a game, and Erie's a really nice hotel too, so it was fun to be there. Then we have a big stretch coming up as we go to Brantford one day, and then we go to the Sioux the week after. So a lot of time on the road ahead of us. Yeah, build some chemistry on the road.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a big contest, too. And obviously, coming up on Friday, you guys are going to be hosting the Flint Firebirds. We got the Family Day game coming up when Erie's going to swing back up this way. It's a lot of fun times ahead for the Storm. I want to ask you, too, just about the development of this young team. You've mentioned it a couple times. You guys have a young core here. You've added to it in terms of some youth with guys like Lane Gallagher, Tyler Hopkins coming in. For you as a goaltender, watching some of these new additions, what are you seeing out there on the ice? And obviously, some things that make you excited for next year.
Well, obviously, we're young and we also have a lot of skill as well, so that'll translate into next year too. So hopefully, it'll be a skilled and shutdown team for the Memorial Cup year. But yeah, and all I'm seeing is good things right now. Practices, games, we're high tempo team, and we'll keep building for next year.
You guys have had a really good penalty kill this year. And I mean, you're the heartbeat of that. I mean, when you're down a man or two, you need your goalie to bail you out, and you've done that consistently. But you guys have had a really good penalty kill from the word go. What, in your opinion, is lending to that success outside of you making some big saves?
Obviously, a big part of that is just the communication on the ice, and everyone knows what their job is. So everyone knows who's guys, who's what seam is kind of each guy is looking at, and yeah, everyone just knows their job, and everyone plays a role they need to on the penalty kill, and it's been working out really well this year.
The communication, that's something that gets talked about a lot in terms of defending and the guys chatting with the goaltender, you chatting back to them. What sort of stuff are you yelling at your defenseman when you're in a situation like that, a penalty kill in particular? Like, what sort of stuff's getting yelled back and forth out there?
For me, a big thing is just yelling about flanks, back doors, and when I can't see, I'll yell at them. Can't see if they're screening me or something like that. It's such a fast game, so anything like me just yelling at them something, maybe they'll out of the way at the last second so I can see it, or get a stick on at the last second to save a backdoor tap in. Yeah, communication's key on the kill, especially.
I know that you've had a new voice this year in terms of goaltending and working in practice. And I wonder, for yourself, a big part of practicing as a goaltender is mimicking those situations and trying to look through screens. Puck tracking is a huge term in goaltending nowadays. What sort of things are you working on in practice to not only help you simulate those situations, but kind of excel and know what's coming?
I think for me, it's just playing relaxed, especially when teams will move pucks around up top. So staying relaxed, not getting wide, so I can make good pushes to the flanks and make easy one-timer saves. And yeah, just hold my stance as long as I can because I'm a bigger kid. So it'll be tough to beat me under the bar if I hold my position and play big.
Given that you are one of the bigger guys out there, and that's always a great tool for a goaltender, like how are you playing a 2-on-1? Like, because that's something that gets broken down all the time. Like, should the defender take the guy with the puck? Should he take the pat? What do you prefer on a 2-on-1? What do you want your defenseman to do?
For me, I want them to take the pass every time and just give me the one-on-one shot because I know I can stop pretty much every shot from straight on. And if I let it in, it's on me. So obviously, every time I'd like them taking the pass, and we've communicated that throughout the year. So defensemen know, and I know that shot's my guy.
So obviously, like I mentioned, new voice in terms of goalie coach with Mr. Parson coming in. Obviously, what's that been like for you? Just some of the different things, maybe different ideas that you guys are sharing, not only on the ice in practice, but maybe on the tape as well. What's that been like in terms of kind of adjusting to maybe a different style?
Yeah, obviously a completely different style than Beatty. Obviously, he's hard on me, but it's also really good to I don't know, help me build as a goalie and as a person as well. He looks at the game completely differently, which is good for me, so I can have kind of different aspects of my game. And yeah, I really like him this year, though. I feel like he helped me take my game to the next level and hopefully get me picked up in the draft this year. And yeah, big help with that to be a Parse.
Yeah, Mike Parson, he's doing a great job with you, and I think it's safe to say you're going to get drafted. I will personally hold a riot if you're not picked in the NHL draft. I'll be very disappointed with the scouting staffs in the NHL. I think it's safe to say you're hearing your name called. In terms of what another thing that I'm curious about and that I'm always interested in, because like for the goaltenders in hockey terms, you guys are kind of like pitchers in baseball. It's just a completely different type of approach to the game. You're playing the same sport, but your position is so different. In terms of guarding the posts, and you as a bigger guy have like a bit of a different perspective on this than maybe shorter goalies. What's your approach to like guarding the post? Everybody talks about the reverse VH now. There's a lot of different terms out there. What are you doing when the puck is kind of in the corner behind the net? What approach are you taking in terms of guarding your post?
Um, Now, like I try to hold my feet as long as possible. I try to stay away from RVH unless they can wrap it or jam it near the post. So I try to hold my feet as long as I can. And if it's a stuff play or in tight, then I'll drop down to my RVH. But I try to hold my feet as long as I can.
So you want to stay up on your skate blades until you feel like they're going to bring it in tight to the post for a stuff attempt. You want to be on your feet.
Exactly, in case they throw it around up top, so I can make good pushes wherever I need to. And if I drop down, it's not hard at all, and I can seal the ice really quickly.
Okay, kids, pay attention to this stuff, okay? You want to be a successful OHL goalie someday, you got to listen to this stuff. That's why we ask the questions here, all right? Zach, I want to ask you too just about your time in Guelph so far. Obviously, you've had a lot of success. You're a young guy. You've still got a lot of career in front of you. And, you've really kind of caught the fans' attention. You're a fan favorite. I see a lot of Jovanovski shirts. I see a lot of Jovanovski jerseys, like I said. Guelph, they love their goaltenders. Long history of that. And you're
Mhm.
putting yourself right up there with some of the great names in franchise history. What's that like for you, just being embraced by this community and this franchise that's had a lot of good goalies come through?
Yeah, obviously it's great having fans on your side, like I said before, and seeing obviously the support in the stands with kids wearing my jersey. Never thought it would happen. Being a little kid, a little goalie playing double A in the Tykes, having kids that age wear jerseys with my name, so it's really cool to see now.
Obviously, you look around and there's great names that have played here. You think about Adam Dennis and Sparky and Nico Dawes, and there's been a lot of good tenders that have come through. How hungry are you to put yourself not only in the championship conversation next year when you guys are really going to be going for something special and potentially win an OHL championship, you could potentially become the first starting goaltender to deliver a Memorial Cup championship to the Guelph Storm franchise. When I say that, like, what goes through your mind?
Sorry, the dogs are barking.
That's all right. They're excited about it.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, it's a really special tournament that we're lucky to be a part of. But hopefully, we'll win the OHL first and then go to Memorial Cup. But obviously, it's going to be great, and obviously, first time winning it in Guelph would be awesome. But we'll work game by game, and keep playing, and hopefully, get to the championship.
I want to ask you a bit about practice. And that's a huge part of any athlete's life, hockey players in particular. You guys are on the ice a lot, you're training a lot, you're doing dry land stuff. In practice, who's a teammate of yours that takes practice a little too seriously?
Um, oh, I feel like most guys would want to take practice seriously.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. Spada goes pretty hard, especially
I'm
back.
not shocked by that at all.
Yeah, it's
I'm
pretty good.
not shocked by that one bit. He seems like the type of guy that's so intense he can't turn that off.
Yeah, especially battle drills. He'll try to put guys to the glass, all that type of stuff. That's his game, so that's what he does.
Yeah, I agree. And on that note with him, and obviously you got some guys on this team that are pretty feisty when it comes to defending. I think a guy like Rowan Top too, Noah Jenkin. We saw him fight earlier this year and did pretty well for himself too. Quinn Beauchesne's never afraid to muck it up. Eric Fassard's a great big kid. Like, you got some specimens on the blue line there. Like, talk about getting screened by guys on the other team. You got to look around some big dudes on your team
Yeah,
too.
exactly. That's been a problem recently is they're so big, right? And they're always in front of me, so I need to communicate with them so I can see the puck. Just yeah, it's not always the other team that's screening me. Sometimes our guys get in the way too, but that's where we have to communicate.
I need to ask you about something I've wanted to ask you. I've asked all of you guys about, the Chell situation. How much do you guys play each other? Who's better at the game? I wonder as a goaltender if you're maybe one of the better players, but I want to ask you about something in particular. Will McFadden was on this podcast not very long ago,
Yeah.
and he absolutely sewered his billet brother Ryland Singh. He claims that Singer is the poke check guy that just can't stop hitting R1. He's allegedly, according to Will, Singer is the guy that gets 80 tripping penalties every match. Can you confirm this? Have you seen it yourself?
No, I don't really play Chell here.
Okay.
Um, I didn't bring the PlayStation. I only play when I go home and in the summer. But yeah, I know all we have all the guys play. They have teams and whatnot, but
I was just wondering if you had bore witness to this because Will was more than happy to jump right on top of poor Island there. So I'm going to get Singer back on here real soon, and I would like for him to respond. I just wondered if maybe you saw some evidence of this. So
oh, you have to ask Singer about that.
yeah, I'm excited to. We got to give him a platform to defend himself. All right. Um, are you good at the game? Like, do you play against family and stuff? Like, are you good at it?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I play a lot in the summer against buddies, and my sister actually plays too. We play sometimes, play threes against each other.
There you go. Do you ever play goalie, or is that like a boring thing for you to do?
No, I never really play goalie except in shootouts.
Okay.
Usually outscoring goals.
So in shootout, you like to use the active goalie. I can't do it. I'm terrible at it.
No, I'm not great at it, but it's just fun throwing flying poke check, stacking the pads.
That's that's all anybody does is the flying poke check and the
Exactly.
pad stack. It's the only move we have. We can't I
Exactly, yeah.
can't stop it. It's a whole thing. Well, man, I'm really appreciative of your time. Like I said, you guys are kind of just finishing up a big road trip, big game coming up against London. Good luck. And good luck in that Friday matchup with Flint coming into town. Obviously, Erie on Family Day. You're having a tremendous season, and we're excited to see the stretch run here to the playoffs, Zach. Thanks so much for doing this, buddy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Remember, everybody, you can find this podcast on YouTube, the Guelph Storm website, all your favorite podcast apps. And if you want to come down and watch Zach Jovanovski and his Guelph Storm teammates, and you should, you can get tickets at the Sleeman Center box office or the Guelph Storm website. We'll be back next week with more Eye of the Storm.